Okay, as the title says, oil change video on a FL5 Type R. This just hit 600 miles. I'm a big believer of changing the oil more regularly. 600 miles is pretty much broken in. You're only basically breaking in the rings at that point. These are the tools you're going to need. A number 3 Phillips screwdriver, a flat screwdriver, a wrench, 17 socket, 19 socket, then of course your oil filter and oil filter tool. The process for an FK8 and an FL5 is pretty much the same. This is the oil weight that Honda want you to use, 0W20. Just make sure you use a good quality oil. Use your favorite oil. I always recommend changing your oil more frequent than finding the super brand oil and pushing it to its limits. You're not doing yourself any favors. So this car is on the lift. So these are race ramps. I would recommend these over jack-in and jack stands, and they're plenty high enough to get the car up, and you can get really low profile ones for really lower cars. Now you need to remove the flathead screws first, then the Phillips screws. The clips will hold the tray in place. The flathead are not a traditional screw. Very clever little fitting. FK8 looks similar to this, just a different amount of screws, but this is going to give you access to the engine, and you're going to see the drain plug. That's it. That's all it does. Almost like a bayonet fitting, like a light bulb. Now the tray removes. There's your drain right there, 17. There's the oil filter. Your drain here is a 17. You can use either a wrench or a socket. Depending on how long you want to wait, this could take a few minutes to reduce down to a drip. I always like to wait, get as much of that oil out as we can. So now we have that. We're going to put a new fresh drain washer on the bolt, put that back in. Now for the oil filter, this can be a real pain. There's not a lot of room around here, and it's hard to grip. We've never found one we like, so we designed our own. We sell it in the store. I'm going to show you how easy it is to use. So we designed this tool based off the S2000 one that we built. We tried a whole bunch of different tools for the S2000 filter that we realized that there was a need for it. And this has gone through a few different designs, and we've come up with this one. This is the one that we use in the shop. So it's going to start leaking. So what I would do is turn it and let it drain before removing it all the way. That's the original filter that was installed at the factory. Same filter that we're installing right now. So this is important. They do have instructions right here. This is based on a torque value, and then they also have this 3/4 turn right here with tool. A little bit overkill right here, but what we recommend you do is put a little bit of oil in your filter, and it's kind of like a little prime. And then this fresh oil right here, put a little bit around that seal. So that is not only to stop the seal sticking, it's to help you turn it to the correct torque spec. You're going to turn that until it just comes to a stop. You're not going to put a lot of pressure on it, and then it's 3/4 turn from there, the way Honda want you to do it. So line one of those points up, and then 3/4 of a turn.
2, 3.
There you go. Not only is that torqued correctly, you're going to be able to get it off the next time with the tool. This is another reason why I recommend changing your own oil. As simple as this job is, some little fine details make all the difference, especially when it's a car you plan on keeping and doing an oil change again. Make sure you put anti-seize on all of your screws and make sure every single one goes back in. I can't tell you how many cars come from the dealer with these either missing, rounded off, or worse. Pretty much the same oil cap is on every Honda 2001 and up, so you can take it off. You can use vice grips. Sometimes you use your hand unless it gets stuck on there. So there is a tool for every job. You can use a 14mm wrench, which I've heard people do. The problem is it does scratch your cap and there's a chance of breaking it. You can also use a pair of these. These will probably do the job too. All depends on how picky you are. I would hate to see my brand new Type R cap get scratched up every time I do an oil change, and even scratch up the cover around the engine. Well, we're designing a tool. This is our prototype tool. It's 3D printed. It's just so we can make sure it fits and it works the way we want it. It fits in, obviously, different directions. Just makes that a little easier to get off. Now, this isn't the final product, but that's what it's going to look like. It's going to sit in there. That way you don't scratch this cover, you don't get oil on the cover, and you don't mark up the cap. Use your favorite oil. Use whatever tickles your fancy. Pours really nice. It fits there, and it doesn't glug, even when you pour it fast. Use your favorite oil. I'm not going to argue about oil. I'll let you do that. Use whatever oil you like. Just change it. It's going to take 5.7 quarts. Always refer to your owner's handbook. It will tell you about how much oil it takes and the check-in procedure. You're going to put the oil in, you're going to check out the dipstick. It'll tell you those interval times. 600 miles, that might be a little overkill to change the oil, but the engine is pretty much broken in, so why not get any of the dirt out, any of the contaminants from the engine assembly, and of course breaking in. Then from there, I would recommend you change your oil early. Oil is not that expensive, the job is not that difficult. You're better to change it sooner than later. Letting your oil go too long, of course, builds up impurities. It breaks down, it isn't lubricating as well, it will start to leave deposits in the engine. We can see a mile off cars that have been changed regular and cars that have been stretched to 8, 9, 10,000 miles. Let's talk oil, shall we? These guys right here, Blackstone Laboratories, we've used these guys a lot. This isn't endorsed by them. I'm just sharing it because I've used them and I like their service. So they will send you one of these little bottles right here. I think it's about 30 bucks. When you do an oil change, you're going to put a sample in that. You're going to send it to them. They're going to give you so much detail about your oil. It's going to blow your mind. It'll tell you what's in it, what should be in it, what you've lost. And it'll also tell you if you've got contaminants, bearing material, antifreeze, any foreign material that shouldn't be in there. And that way you can judge for yourself how often you should change your oil. That is a true way to see your oil breakdown. Whatever brand you're using, it's really good data. 30 bucks is going to tell you so much. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than your car's engine. And of course, then you'll know what intervals you should change your oil. Check these guys out. Blackstone Laboratories. You can get all their information online. This is all on you. It's your personal car. It's your personal job. If you have the ability to change it often. It's a pretty simple job. Hopefully this video has made it helpful, and the tools are available in the LHT store to make your job easier. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, enjoy your cars, and we'll see you on the next video.